like to call to order this meeting of the Camarillo City Council. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Kildy?
Here.
Councilmember Martinez Bravo?
Here.
Councilmember Tennyson?
Here.
Vice Mayor Tremblay? Here. And Mayor Santangelo?
Here. The purpose for us opening at this hour is to go into closed session. I'll have the city attorney read the items for closed session.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. For the City Council, we have 3 items listed on the agenda. 2 under Government Code Section 54956.9D2. One of those matters relates to letters received from the law firm of Manat on behalf of its client, Nui. And a third item related to initiation of litigation under 54956.9D4, one matter, and if there's reportable action, I will make that report. Thank you.
Thank you. At this moment, we will recess into closed session.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not gonna tell it, right?
like to reconvene the meeting of the Camarillo City Council, and let's have another roll call.
Councilmember Kildy,
Here.
Councilmember Martinez Bravo,
Here.
Councilmember Tennyson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Tremblay, and Mayor Santangelo.
I'm here. And let's have a flag salute. Vice Mayor Tremblay, will you lead us?
Would you please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. I think we have one public comment tonight. Lauren De La Torre, come on up. You have 3 minutes. Oh, hang on just a second, Lauren. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Lauren De La Torre, and I have been a resident living on Oak Street in Old Town Camarillo since March 1988. I spent my whole teaching career in the Pleasant Valley School District, raising my family and living in the same home. From 1988 up until the last few years, the only type of air traffic over my home was small aviation planes. We find small aviation planes charming. This has greatly changed over the last 4 or 5 years. Now the most prominent aircraft flying over my home are private and chartered jets. This type of traffic is for someone's profit, not for our country's military. It is never charming to have jets fly over my home. You have all heard my comments about living below the flight path of Camarillo Airport. It saddens me that Old Town is no longer the nice, charming neighborhood that I've lived in for the last 35 years. As you work tonight to reorganize your council jobs for the coming year, I ask that you realize and remember that the Camarillo Airport will be an issue for the next year. Residents of Camarillo want leaders of our city to be the loudest voices in protecting the community of Camarillo. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Lauren. Okay, would anybody else like to address the council tonight? Okay, seeing no more public comments. That brings us to item C, which would be remarks by Mayor Santangelo, which is me. Wow, this year has really flown by, and it's been such a productive year and such a great year. It's really been an honor of a lifetime to have been a mayor for a city like Camarillo, a city that I really love so deeply and care about so much. I've grown up here, I raised my kids here, my parents live here. It's just been a really special year for me, so I'd like to thank everybody. One of the things that I'm really proud of this year is how we've come together as a council. This year we welcomed 2 new council members, Councilmember Tennyson and Councilmember Martinez Bravo, and so it's been a year of getting used to each other and learning each other, and it's really been nice to have 5 people that have different perspectives and different backgrounds be able to come together and be productive and be prepared and work together so well and respectfully to come to decisions that are in the best interest of the city. So it's been a great year for that, and I welcome you again, even though it's been a year. It's just been a great addition to have you here, and I think that as a council, I'm really proud of the work we do. I'm really proud of how we work together. I think we're efficient, and I've already said we're productive, so I won't say that again. And I know that we all have the best interests of the residents of the city in our heart as we work together. It was a challenging year for me, not just because I took on mayor responsibilities, but in the middle of the year, I took on a new job. And some of you may know this because I share it quite readily, but I'm working nights. So it's been a year for me of balancing being a mayor during the day and a nurse at night. And that's been really challenging for me, and it's made my schedule really challenging. And so I really want to thank all my fellow council members for helping me out and stepping up and being at events and meetings that I wasn't able to be at. It really does take a village. I've heard previous mayors before me talk about how busy it is and how much it really is a group effort, and now I really experienced it firsthand. So thank you all for helping me out. I appreciate it. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, we have an amazing city staff, and it's such a pleasure to work with our staff and everybody that we work with, Mark and Carmen and Dave and Michelle and Greg. Thank you all for all the work you do. I really appreciate it. Christy, thank you. You kept me on track, and you helped meetings run really smoothly, and I really appreciate all of that. And we have this new way of communicating now with nods and winks. And then Veronica and Monique, they're not here tonight, but especially to Veronica, who has helped me with scheduling and dealt with my crazy schedule, and helped keep up with correspondence and all that scheduling. It's just been such a help. I really appreciate it. So that's really all I have to say. In closing, I hope that we have a fantastic next year. I think we will. I think we have a great council, and I think we're looking forward to a great year next year. And that's all I have. So thank you so much. Thank you for the honor of being mayor of this city.
Is there a mic over there? Yes. All right, so as the vice, let's turn this on. There you go. How's that? Not yet, huh? How's that?
There we go.
Hey, there we go. Okay. So as the vice mayor, I have the honor and the privilege of presenting Susan with a plaque in recognition of your achievements this year. I just read in the script that Christy so helpfully provided to me that council comments are later, so I would make my comments now, but I think I'll just defer until later. And come on up and let's do the plaque. And this plaque says, to Susan Santangelo, Mayor, December 2022 to December 2023, in appreciation for your outstanding leadership and dedication to the city of Camarillo, presented this 6th day of December 2023. Congratulations. I'll have more to say later. Oh, but I think we have to do a picture. There we go. Okay. You are welcome. Thank you. No, we got more for you. Hang on a second. So we now have a number of speakers who have come tonight to present you with different things. And the first one is our County Supervisor, Jeff Gorell.
Thank you. Thank you. Mayor, members of the City Council, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to join you here tonight, join the chorus of people commending and recognizing your year, Mayor, of service to this wonderful city. So on behalf of the county and the 2nd Supervisorial District, I wanted to just say thank you. You and I have had the opportunity to work on a few projects, but more broadly, your reputation over this last year has been one of dedication, one of collaboration, bringing together this city council. Even David Tennyson is just, you deserve a humanitarian award, like a kind of like a medal around the neck like Chewbacca got at the end of Star Wars, that kind of medal to have to serve with this Mr. Tennyson. But the collaboration and the focus, the reputation of Camarillo wasn't always positive as it related to the working with the county on the big issues, including homelessness. That is not the reputation today is that Camarillo is one of the top cities in the county in terms of collaborating on the big issues of the day to try to solve them, coming together and solving these major problems. And your tenure was marked by leadership and as I mentioned, collaboration. And I couldn't be more thankful because it's such a wonderful city for me and such an important part of my history and an important part of my district. You have a number of accomplishments here. In fact, it takes up the whole page. I'm not going to read all of them, but I just wanted to say thank you. And I have for you a certificate that perhaps we could take a quick picture if you wouldn't mind, Mayor. And I also have, since I have the microphone, I just want to let you know I have a command, what we call a challenge coin from the county of Ventura that I'd like to present to you as well. So again, thank you on behalf of the county, 2nd District, and what a wonderful term, and we're all very grateful. Thanks.
Thank you.
microphone, I'll use it. Congratulations, Rachel.
Our next presentation, I know you're sitting down, you're going to keep getting back up, and yeah, I know. So, Anthony Avila, who is representing Congresswoman Julia Brownley. Mr. Avila?
Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight, and good evening. My name is Anthony Avila, and on behalf of Congresswoman Julia Brownley, I would like to recognize Mayor Santangelo for her remarkable leadership and immeasurable contributions to the city of Camarillo and its residents in her role as mayor. Congresswoman Brownley has often said it is her greatest privilege to represent the people of California's 26th congressional district, which includes the wonderful city of Camarillo. She has worked closely with Mayor Santangelo and the entire city council to move our community forward and to do all that she can to work in partnership with all of you to improve the lives of people who call Camarillo home. One noteworthy example of this work is the bridge replacement project at Las Posas Road and Ventura Boulevard. Congresswoman Brownley was proud to secure $4 million for this important investment in the city's infrastructure and a key transportation corridor for our region. This project will not only bolster our local economy, but ensure multimodal transportation access for our community, which is a high priority for our residents who enjoy biking and walking to work and school, and for recreational purposes too. Together, we also celebrated the opening of the North Pleasant Valley Groundwater Desalter, which is making significant strides in improving water quality and the reliable delivery of water to Camarillo's residents. A first in the region, the desalter is an incredible success in advancing the city's water conservation efforts and work towards a more resilient and eco-friendly future for Camarillo and the surrounding area. The Congresswoman extends her sincere appreciation to Mayor Santangelo for her steadfast commitment and service to the residents of Camarillo, and she looks forward to continuing to work with her, the incoming mayor, and the entire council to best serve the residents of this great city. For her contributions to the city, I am pleased to present Mayor Santangelo with a certificate of congressional recognition on behalf of the Congresswoman.
Everybody's getting their
Thank
steps
you.
in today. So. And we now call on Michelle Sevilla, who is representing Assemblymember Steve Bennett. Ms. Sevilla.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you so much. Michelle Sevilla with Assemblymember Steve Bennett's office. And it's very hard to follow up on everybody's sentiments as we share the same, but just thank you so much for your collaboration and working with Assemblymember Bennett and for showing up and representing the city, including our Senior Scam Stoppers, which was earlier this year, and for doing incredible leadership and initiative along with the rest of your council, including the desalter. I know that he looks forward to working with you and the council and looking to see that Camarillo's interests in the state of California will be represented and achieved. So I also present to you our own certificate from the California State Legislature.
Okay, according to the script that Christy so helpfully gave to me, it's now time for council comments. So who wants to start off? Mr. Tennyson.
I just want to congratulate you, Susan, on a phenomenal year. I think that you provided tremendous leadership. You nurtured a culture amongst your council members that actually resulted in great collaboration and collegiality. All you have to do is look around Ventura County, and not every city in the county, the state, and the federal government has an elective body that is able to work so closely together regardless of disparity or diversity in political views. And I think with your leadership, those things have been put aside, and as you said, we work together to make decisions for the best interest of all of the residents of Camarillo, and I thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Mayor Santangelo, if there was one word to describe this year, it would be gratitude. And I am so grateful for you, for your leadership, for your mentorship. Right before our very first meeting, I don't think I even knew how to use PrimeGov, and you came to my home. My husband was working late, my children were upstairs, and you came and you kind of laid out how all of this was going to work, and that was just so helpful. And I'm so honored to sit here and to be your friend and to sit here in this capacity, to be the leaders of this city, this wonderful city that I know you truly love as well. And I'm just so grateful for you, of course, for all of staff and the entire council. I know that we are all very different, but at the same time, we do come together to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the people of Camarillo. And you were such a huge part of that leadership, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Susan, I've had the pleasure of serving with a lot of mayors, and you're at the top of the heap. You did a great job. I really appreciate, as a business person too, your scheduling and how you've been able to balance this job, because as everybody knows, this job is 24/7. There's no time off on this job, and you were able to balance it amazingly well. And it's an honor for me to serve with you. And man, you ran a great meeting. You listened to all of us, which is not always easy to do at times, but your leadership was impeccable. And I know you hopefully can get a little tiny bit of rest now, but it was a lot of fun this year. You accomplished an awful lot. We kept you really busy, but you exceeded all expectations here. And I know your family's out here, and I know they're very proud of you, and a lot of the community are very proud of you, and they should be. You're an amazing person, and I know that this year, I just can't give you enough superlatives here, because it's a challenging job at time, and you did a great job. So thanks for listening to me and working with me. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Kevin.
So there's a council tradition of saying ditto when you agree with what everyone else has said, but unfortunately, you're faced with a lawyer with a microphone, so I have three additional things in addition to the ditto that I want to say to you. Number one, I want to tell you that I think you have done an excellent job as mayor. I want to thank you for your leadership and your hard work. You have done an excellent job. Number two, I have really and thoroughly enjoyed working with you on a whole bunch of issues this year. To name just a few, the city's sustainability master plan, the council policies, which goodness knows we've worked on for hours on that, our focus on community wellness, and our joint advocacy efforts in Washington, D.C. And in all of those matters, you've just been superlative. It's really been a privilege to work with you. And finally, number three, and I think this is echoed by everyone up here, I am especially appreciative to you for setting the tone for this council this year. I'm really proud of our council's efforts this past year. I'm proud of the respect that we show to one another and each member's views, even if we don't agree all the time. That's fine. But we do conduct ourselves in a very respectful way. Successful governance comes from good leadership. And your leadership as mayor has been exemplary. So thank you. That's from me.
Thank you. Okay, I need to take all that in a little bit. All right, we move to item E, which is when we begin our city council reorganization. I'm going to turn the meeting over to the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor Santangelo. Before we begin, I'd like to review the nomination process.
Wait, sorry, hang on. I blew that. There were some we thought you were going to get away with it. There were some additional things for you, however, and I apologize. There were recognitions received from the city of Moore Park and the city of Port Hueneme and the city of San Buenaventura. So, sorry, Christy, and sorry, Susan, but I need to hand those over to you. All right. And now, Christy, take it away with the next item. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, before we begin, I'd like to review the nomination process. I'll open the floor for nominations for each position individually. First will be the nominations for the office of mayor, and then for the office of vice mayor. If there's only one nomination, a motion and a second will close the nomination floor. If there are multiple nominations, we'll vote on the nominations in the order they're received until we have a successful majority vote. Each nomination will require a motion and a second. With that, we'll get started. Are there any nominations for the office of mayor?
I'll nominate Councilmember Tony Tremblay.
And I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nomination floor. Please vote.
Congratulations, bud.
That passes unanimously. We will now conduct the nominations for vice mayor. Are there any nominations for the office of vice mayor?
I'll nominate Kevin Kildee.
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nomination floor. Please vote. And that passes unanimously as well. This concludes the city council nominations. Congratulations to our new mayor and vice mayor. And I'll turn the meeting over to Mayor Tremblay.
Thank you very much. Okay, I am supposed to do remarks at this point, and then we'll go on to the other offices. Again, it's the syndrome of handing the microphone to the lawyer, but I'll try to be brief. Thank you for the privilege and for the honor of serving as mayor. I'm very thankful. I'm very appreciative of the trust that you are putting in me. Just like Susan, I will need your support for this next year, and I'm confident that I'll receive it. I'm also very thankful to my family and especially to my wife, Kathy, for her support. Kathy's here tonight. Thank you, dear. I love you very much. It's especially a privilege to serve as mayor for the second time. The first time was in 2020 during the pandemic. Do you remember how most of the year in 2020 was conducted by Zoom? And we still have some meetings on Zoom, but I'm really looking forward to being a mayor while we are all working together in person. It's very important to note that the mayor has no greater vote or say than any other council member. Whether we agree, in my view, whether we agree or we disagree with one another on any specific issue is not as important in the long run as the respect that we show toward each other and toward our respective views. Do you remember how Sean Mulchay said how he was influenced as a student when he was sitting out in the audience, and he was influenced by Charlotte and how the council was conducted during that year? That made a great impression on him. Camarillo is a model for successful governance, and we are the envy of many other cities. Councilmember Tennyson had an excellent letter to the Ventura County Star several days ago making that point, and I agree. It's no accident, because our council members are conscientious, we work diligently, and we display respect toward one another. I'm very proud of our council's efforts. We get things done, and we serve in a positive manner. So what a stark contrast on what this council does and how we act toward one another and what a relief it is to what is going on at the national level. It is such a contrast. Susan, you said in your incoming remarks last year, and I agree 100%, that although council members are elected by district, our primary concern in making decisions is what is right for the city at large. And I'm confident, knowing all of you as I do, that we will continue using that criteria, serving in a respectful manner, and making decisions on what each of us believe is in good faith, is right for our city. That will be what I would call our North Star, an old Boy Scout expression, so forgive me, but that is our North Star. And in this endeavor, too, we are really fortunate, and I hope that any residents listening tonight know how fortunate that we have such an outstanding city staff. They are simply the best. So we are so fortunate in this city to have our wonderful staff. So that's it from the microphone. Let's get to work, and thank you again for the privilege of being mayor this next year. With that, I'm supposed to take public comments on this item. Hearing no, thank you. Hearing no public comments, we have a closed session report by our city attorney. Rachel, what do we have for a closed session report?
Yes, thank you. We did conduct closed session this evening, but there is no reportable action that was taken.
All right, and according to this script, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the city council meeting, correct, Christy? All right, so the city council meeting is adjourned, and we are going to go on to the Camarillo Library Board.
Okay, I'd like to open the meeting of the Camarillo Library Board. Let the record reflect that all council members are present. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will move to public comments. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to address the library board? Okay, seeing none, we will pass it on to city clerk.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the time for the reorganization of the Camarillo Library Board. We'll begin with nominations for the office of president. Are there any nominations for the office of president?
I would like to nominate Councilmember Martinez Bravo.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Are there any other nominations? That will close the floor. Please vote. That passes unanimously.
I just really wanted to, do I?
It's okay, I'll finish. I'll do the, for mayor, or for president pro tem.
Oh,
And
yes.
then I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, Christy, sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, so opening the nominations for president pro tem. Are there any nominations for the office of president pro tem?
I'd like to nominate David Tennyson.
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? We'll close the floor. Please vote. That passes unanimously. And Madam Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you. Or, I'm sorry, Madam President.
Thank you, and thank you. Thank you for the nomination, and I look forward to serving on the library board again. Thank you. And with that, we will adjourn the library board.
I'd like to reconvene the Camarillo Sanitary District meeting. Am I off on that?
Yeah, I think they
I am off, sorry. Oh, see, I'm
We're gonna
a
do
little bit
Community development first.
a little bit
All right.
premature.
All right, so I'm going to open the Community Development Commission. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, I will turn it over to the city clerk.
All right, this is the time for the reorganization of the Camarillo Community Development Commission. We'll begin with nominations for office of chair. Are there any nominations for the office of chair?
I'll nominate Tony Tremblay.
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? We'll close the floor. Please vote. That passes unanimously. We'll now conduct the nominations for vice chair. Are there any nominations for the office of vice chair?
I'll nominate Councilmember Kildee.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? We'll close the floor. Please vote. That passes unanimously. And this concludes our nominations for the Community Development Commission nominations, and I'll turn it over to the new chair.
I know it's disappointing, but I have no extensive remarks. The meeting is adjourned.
Well done.
Now, am I ready? I'd like to reconvene the Camarillo Sanitary District meeting for December 6th. And public comments, any public comments there? I don't see anybody, so we'll get down to the reorganization, please.
Thank you, sir. This is the reorganization for the Camarillo Sanitary District Board. We'll begin with nominations for the office of chair. Any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Susan Santangelo for chair.
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? We'll close the voting floor. Please vote. That passes unanimously. We'll now conduct the nominations for secretary. Are there any nominations for the office of secretary?
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Tennyson.
Is there a second? Are there any other nominations? We'll close the floor. Please vote. And that passes unanimously. This concludes the Camarillo Sanitary District nominations. Congratulations to our new chair and secretary, and I'll turn the meeting over to the new chair, Chair Santangelo.
I'll turn my mic on. I have nothing more to say, but thank you. So I will adjourn the Camarillo Sanitary District is adjourned. And that brings us, are we done? We're done with reorganizing. All right, so we're all completely done tonight. All right, thank you.
Why is it so quiet?